Special treat, Burning Rubber podcast. Two guests here, as we were talking a little bit earlier with our friends at PFI Speed. We've got a huge weekend coming up this weekend with our friends at PFI Speed. And PSCA program. We'll have the PFI Speed Tuner Mayhem program on Sunday. Lots of different categories. And the interesting part is this is a weekend that focuses really on the imports, right? And some of these tuner machines. Jamie and Brent from PFI Speed, thanks for joining me, guys.
Yeah, this is awesome.
Appreciate you. Let's start with PFI Speed. What do you guys do?
Well, we build little import cars to come drag race, road race. We tune them and kind of work out all the problems and bugs and make the cars actually do what the owners wanted them to do in the first place. So
find parts, sell parts.
Yep.
Kind of try and move our knowledge of programs to consumers in the next generation.
Yeah. And we were having this interesting conversation about the next generation because we've been talking about bracket racers and everything that's been going on with racing and how do you find that new wave, right? Well, now you have this new wave and this new generation of folks who they grew up with Honda Civics, the Accords, all these different
it's the
vehicles,
cheap first
Subarus, cheap first car, my first car.
It's the generational hot rod.
Exactly.
We're just...
It's the Chevy Camaro of our day.
It's the Chevy Camaro of your day, yeah.
That is it.
And so you guys are doing all kinds of great things, and you're seeing this new wave with yourselves, right?
Yeah. That's where our market has leaned, is towards the import stuff. That's where we're seeing the next generation of racers coming from. They're watching on YouTube. This is the stuff they're seeing on YouTube, and it's obtainable to them.
And we have a huge passion to make boost and push these little engines as far as they can. So, and that's been inspired to us, and we try to inspire others, to do
if we can make a car weigh as little as possible, make 60, 70 pounds of boost through 4 cylinders, make 4 digits of horsepower, I mean, that's intriguing to us.
Yeah, it really is.
Tell me, is that kind of the general weapon of choice?
What's that?
Real light car and a whole bunch of boost.
A whole bunch of boost. Weight out front, front wheel drive, throw the weight out front. As little a weight in the back as possible and as much boost as that thing will stay together with.
Yep, that's pretty much it. So we're always just chasing parts that'll, keep the head clamp down.
Keep the block in one piece.
Keep the block in one piece. I don't know if you our sick week, we exploded one in half.
Yeah, I blew one up in the burnout box.
Well, but see, that's the thing.
Those are the challenges.
Those are the challenges with anybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
the same problems that we have are what the domestic guys have.
Yeah.
We just do it with half the engine.
Yeah, and if you go back to the 50s and 60s, those guys broke a lot of parts.
We break a lot of parts today.
Yeah,
don't you worry.
They were trying to, invent the parts to make them more reliable and actually make them work.
One of the biggest things we have now, though, is we have the safety aspects of it that we can kind of push. Catch pans, diapers, scatter shields,
electronic safeties,
all the stuff in the
computer.
Boost cuts, all sorts of stuff. You have all that safety stuff that has taken years to get there.
Yeah, we're developing nonstop.
Scatter shields on a front wheel drive is partially Brent's fault.
Really
I think it was like 2005.
No, it was late 98 or 99 in Pomona. I had a clutch explode. Parts of it went into the crowd. Some came into the car with me, and they were after that race. It was scatter shields that need to be on Honda.
That was the thing that needs to be on.
So now when you go through tech and you have to have a scatter shield on it, that's where all that comes from. Trial and error.
Yep, learning.
It feels like you guys are pioneering a lot of these pieces. To be truly honest.
Trying.
We really have. I mean, from back in the day to getting clutches to work to axles, all of it. And a lot of it was done here. I did the twin discs and the axles with Mark Williams. And we've worked really hard.
There's a lot of really good companies local to here that he's our business has gotten to work with to make this stuff happen.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome.
Such a good local community around here with all the businesses.
We talk about this a lot, and I think this is why we kind of wanted to launch a podcast, was because we are so blessed here at Bandimere Speedway to not only be here for 64 years, but to have support for all that time. And now I feel like this is not to call out any other local city with an NHRA facility. I think there's just a genuine passion for the automobile.
It is huge. It is huge here.
Yeah.
Our community, we travel all over.
Yeah.
So I know how huge it is here. Mm-hmm. And, we spend a lot of time in Florida, but there's no place like home.
This is home.
Oh, so you're snowbirds.
Yeah,
is that what they call them?
We've been snowbirding.
You've been snowbirding?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You don't like the cold so much?
Well, we can't. We got snow here. The track gets covered. I know if there wasn't snow, you guys would be open.
I know.
But when it closes here, we load our cars up and we leave them in Florida and we fly back and forth.
And there's a race every weekend.
Yeah, there's a race every weekend. But you know what we do? The second you guys are open, we drag our cars back here. And we get to racing here.
Yeah, very cool stuff. Brent, Jamie from PFI Speed, of course. You guys got a website, and you guys got the YouTube. Shout out the YouTube and social media and all that jazz.
So the website is pfispeed.com. We sell merchandise, auto parts, all that stuff. There's a link to our email there. If there's parts you're looking for, and we don't have them on the website,
or even
shoot
questions
us an email.
and wondering
questions
what's wrong with your ride. Yeah.
And I think that's so cool because you guys do a really good job at. You were just talking about it this past Wednesday at our Colorado State Patrol Take of the Track test night. A gal was here. She had no idea what she was doing.
She'd
and you
never
guys
raced before.
You guys are literally on the starting line, like with her, like kind of educating her.
Yeah,
and
teaching her where to do a burnout, how to do a burnout.
Mm-hmm.
She killed it the first time. We talked to the track and said, hey, she's never done this. Give us a couple minutes. Yeah, go ahead. Teach her.
Yeah.
She tried it again. Then she learned where the tree was and how to stage the car. Did she red light? Yes. Did anybody knock her for it? No. Bring it back around and try again.
Yeah, and there's no difference with the PSCA the last couple of years. All these guys are grassroots. The drag racing has been new to them, and they have been learning. As you guys know, throughout the year, they've been getting better and better and better. These guys were not all drag racers, but their buddies were, or they were encouraged to do so, or just wanted to try, and they've been learning, and it's really been growing.
It's really cool to see the growth through a category.
And seeing how
really
they've
been
awesome.
And I'm gonna pay the PSCA program a major compliment here.
Yeah.
There may not be a category that we've seen that kind of growth in that I can remember. I mean, seriously,
And it's
I'm
not
fist
just
pumping.
one person or a couple of people. It's literally the whole group. We have guys that have been doing this for 20, 25, 30 years in an import car and other racing, and guys that are just starting right now. Every one of those guys that's a veteran has helped every one of those guys.
Yeah, we want to see everyone succeed, and that's a big part of it. We're growing a community and a almost a just a family. Yeah,
there's a bunch of
pretty
different
awesome.
shops. There's a bunch of different guys, but everybody really comes together.
Yeah.
Everybody works
and does
together.
it as a group.
Yeah.
Well, again, I like to look at it as we're one big racing family, right?
Amen.
Exactly.
And
Amen.
we're all car enthusiasts, you
Yeah.
know, and it don't matter if you have a 1968 Dodge Charger or a 1990, Honda Civic or whatever, whatever may be the case. I don't even know if they made Civics
Yeah,
in
whatever
that
your
year,
air
but
pump
to be
is,
truly
it's great.
honest, it's like the way I see it is, that car, that's his baby.
Amen.
That's her baby.
So-
And that's cool that they would come out here at the racetrack and enjoy that and enjoy the automobile. And obviously, we all like to go fast as well too, right? So PFI Speed, of course, this weekend we got a lot of stuff going on. Let's talk about, because it's really a 3-day weekend for you guys. Is really what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friday.
So Friday we have one qualifier like 3:00 in the afternoon. You can get here, get your pit set up for the weekend. Have one qualifier on Friday. You have some time before Saturday. If you need to fix something, change something, then you get 3 qualifiers on Saturday. All day, and it's good. You can hang out with your buddies. You can work on your stuff. You can mingle with the group. If you're new, you can go around, meet the other guys.
Yeah.
Everybody's there to help you.
And I think if you're a racer, that's always a fun day because, when fans come and they see some of our larger races, they see the racers in eliminations action, right? Sometimes they don't see the behind the scenes thing, but I always encourage it because every ticket at Bandimere Speedway is a pit pass, right? So you can go up to the pit area and
Yeah, you can
mingle
walk
with
right
these
up
drivers.
and start asking everybody questions about their car.
And
you
that's
can
the
see,
cool
and
thing.
you can see what you can do with your car. If you drove a Honda Civic and parked it in the parking lot, you can walk up and go, "Wow, that could be my Honda Civic."
Yeah.
There.
And well, and also too, particularly with some of the import categories, these are very relatable categories. And again, I'm gonna pay the import category another compliment here. There's a lot of, how should I say this? There's a lot of categories nowadays where the cars are no longer relatable.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to throw NASCAR under the bus here, but NASCAR struggled with this over the past couple of years.
Yeah.
They don't look like
It's not a
a
stock
Toyota
car.
Camry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a
It doesn't
stock
look like the car that I drive in my driveway. Well, now you see a lot of this with the import categories, and I think that's really important in natural growth, because I think you do have individuals who come here to the racetrack, and they've kind of had that desire, right, to go racing, but for whatever the reason, hesitation, they're scared, they don't want to make that one big jump to do it, and that's why I think you guys are so important. You come in and you kind of become that guiding light,
gap.
if you will. Yeah, you're bridging the gap.
That's what we're trying to do, honestly.
Yeah.
That is it.
Now, of course, you do this a lot through education and YouTube, right?
Yep. Yep, we do. The YouTube videos are all educating on basically how the cars work, what you may need to do. We try to show people what it takes to do this, and hopefully inspire them and let them start educating themselves and come on out.
We do videos on the PSCA races.
Okay.
Brent puts together really good videos that document the whole process from qualifying to how eliminations work and all that. So these guys had the opportunity before they even come race to go watch those. And so you kind of know what to expect. So the people that you're coming to race with, the environment you're going to be in, and how qualifying works, how eliminations work. It's all laid out for you in video format where anybody can click on it.
Well, and I think that, we live in a digital age, right?
We really do.
Unbelievable. In fact, we were talking about this in the office earlier this week about how it's like, man, how far we've come in such a small amount of time. Now it's like everything is on this little telephone.
It's just speeding up. It isn't slowing down. The tech is advancing, but the car guy's advancing as well. We're starting to figure out how to the reliability from that tech advancements.
Well, I'll go even further in saying, look, technology advancements helping cars become faster, more consistent,
and reliable,
more reliable.
Yeah.
I mean, just in general, safer. Yeah, I mean, in every way, shape, and form. And so it's cool to see kind of, man, machine kind of come together. And then obviously this technology side of things gets thrown in. Super, super cool. And then so we talked about Friday, Saturday, a very relaxed day.
Yeah, relaxed qualifying day.
Yeah.
And, if this is the one big thing, a lot of guys are, man, I can't get off work for 3 days. I can't. Goes, you don't have to. You can skip Friday if you need to. We still want you to come. Come out on Saturday and qualify. Yeah. If you can't even make it Friday and Saturday, there is still one more qualifier.
Jamie's apparently
for the
writing
PSC.
Doctor notes for everybody to skip school.
I get asked a lot of questions with this, and there's still, if you're going to race the heads-up PSCA classes on Sunday, there's still one more qualifier Sunday morning.
So you're still good.
You can still make the show. That's not we have an all-run field. There can be 65 cars show up in the Sport Compact
We're going to
class,
ladder you up.
and we're going to run them.
Yeah.
And that's super cool. Sunday, of course, final eliminations when, we'll have several things going on. Obviously, running that day as well, too, a part of the PFI Speed Tuner Mayhem, which will be really, really cool. We'll have the eliminations included, but we'll also have a ton of things happening at the racetrack, and hopefully you get a chance to join us. We'll have the motorcycle challenge and pairing as well, too.
Those,
we'll have the two wheels.
It's so cool.
Would you ever get on a motorcycle?
I would get on a motorcycle, ATV. I love all those classes. I think they're so cool.
All right, so our fabricator, we're bringing a fun little hot rod out for him to race in the ATV classic.
No kidding.
If we can.
Yeah.
He's got a pretty sweet little go-kart that he fabbed up.
Oh, no kidding.
With what is it, a CBR 600 in it?
Yeah.
In this ATV?
It's
really
paddle shift.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So come by our booth and check that out this weekend. It's going to be here. He might run in the ATV class if he can pass tech. It's a pretty safe machine, but we don't, we haven't tried it before.
Okay, all right.
We'll at least have it in the booth, so come check it out.
Yeah, of course, you guys will be here with, we'll have so many different things going on for our Tuner Mayhem. We'll have the vendor midway, the concession stand will be open, fuel store, and of course, there'll be a car show. Folks can come on by, buy a ticket, watch racing, check out the car show, check out the vendor midway, ask you guys questions. Yep. I mean, it's crazy because sometimes when you come up to one of these events, you come up here and it's like the racing is kind of like the cherry on the top, right? Like you spend the whole day at the track.
Yeah.
And and then it's like the racing's like the last part to enjoy, you know. And so
and it's such a good vibe, and the energy is awesome, and the whole day just goes by so fast. You go, what happened? But that was awesome.
And like, even though we're working on the cars and we might be busy, come up and talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Come up and check out the cars, see what we got going on. You know, we'll have a booth selling our merchandise. Go ahead and go grab some of our merchandise. Mel with PSCA will be there with his merchandise. We'll answer any questions you guys have about the racing or the races or the cars or whatever you got.
By the way, I just checked the weather on my phone.
Oh, we don't talk weather. We just show up and race.
72 and sunny.
There we go.
Very cool.
We're a little superstitious. We try not to look at the weather. We
just
really? Show up no matter
never
what.
say the R
So I
word.
just ruined your whole day.
Yeah, we just show up. You didn't even say it. We didn't know. We didn't hear it. We just show up whether it says to or not.
Brent and Jamie at PFI Speed. Of course, you know, this sport that we have of drag racing, I would open it up to automobiles in general. It's got an interesting dynamic happening now, right? Domestics, imports. Where do you see things moving in the future? Where do you want to see the sport grow?
So that's a super challenging question.
Very
This
loaded,
is the
very
digger of a
challenging
question.
This is a digger, and we talk about this a lot because you know our whole industry's under fire. You know, performance world has really got the whole aftermarket needs to come together.
The EPA
We need
battle
we need
is what
to
we're talking about.
Yeah, we need to all support the tracks wherever you are. Support your local racetrack, and really dig in. This is a digger of a question because we want it to keep advancing and not just push the technology but make the cars faster. But we want to keep the tracks open. We want to be able to have the right to keep modifying our rides how we see fit, and be able to bring them to the racetrack. I like to say, back when I was young, skateboarding, we made sure that skateboarding wasn't a crime because you would skate all over town and you get shooed away and ticketed and all this stuff. So they started putting skate parks out, and that's where all these guys go. That's what we're all used to now. Like now, that's normal. The skate park in your local town, that's where the guys go. You don't have all those problems we had when I was young. So those problems now I'm older, and we have those problems again. And it's the racers in the street and that kind of thing. So we need to get all these guys off the street. We need to get them supporting the tracks, being part of the tracks, and keeping the momentum of racing going, basically. We really got to dig in together and keep this advancing and alive at the same time. So
Of course.
So that's a huge thing to me. Big passion of mine.
Yeah, and I think, obviously for us it's huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
this is our livelihood.
The racer, this is my livelihood.
Yeah, same.
It's all of ours.
This is not a 9 to 5 for me. This is a
24/7.
24/7. I'm either here or I'm in my garage working on my car or whatever.
Same.
Maybe
7 days a week.
Yeah, and
We live this stuff. Yeah.
This is what we eat, sleep, and breathe. And it is really important to us. Now, if somebody wants to get educated a little bit more on this, do you guys have a place where they can go?
SEMA and PRI have a lot of info out about this. We put out a lot of YouTube videos. There's a lot of stuff online everywhere. If you search it, anything with RPM Act, sign it as much as you can.
You can sign a couple times a week.
Yeah, you can.
I still sign it a
Yeah,
couple
you
times
can
a
sign
week.
multiple times. There's support your local tracks, support your local shops.
Keep it off the street.
Come to the racetrack.
Yes.
Bring your car to the racetrack. I can say personally, my car that I race now used to be something that I drove on the street. I used to go race it on the street. We put a 3-gallon fuel tank in it. That thing goes anywhere. It's on a trailer and it's going to a track. I had to evolve too.
Yeah, we all did.
That's something we've all had to do.
Well, and this is a thing we tackle all the time at the racetrack is, if there's anything that we do that helps to take the street racing off of the streets, it's huge, and this is why we pair with the Colorado State Patrol to do the take it to the track test nights to, not only is it extremely dangerous, obviously, there's just nothing good
You're in
to
a
it.
controlled environment here.
Yeah.
You have safety personnel here. You have help here. You have people to guide you. Nobody's here trying to, beat you down about rules or anything.
No.
The safety's there because they're trying to help you.
Yes.
And we're just really trying to, at the end of the day, we're just trying to enjoy our ride.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is, and with people we relate to, you know, we all might enjoy different air pumps themselves, but we have the same goal. So, you know, it's
Our
good.
tires might spin on the front, yours might spin on the back, but we all want the same thing. We all want to just go down the track and see who's faster.
It is fascinating to watch those imports with those
Yeah, I love
big,
it.
fat, meaty slicks in the front.
So I started off as a, rear-wheel drive guy.
Okay.
I started, I raced go-karts growing up, and then I got into Mustangs and stuff like that, and then I got a couple import cars and started screwing around with them. And then, I got hooked up with Brent and started working with him, and it just turned, it's something that you can't get away from once you start.
Yeah, we're hooked.
Yeah.
Well, and the thing too that I think is very unique, and it's funny I'm saying this because one of the race cars that I runs a power glide transmission, which essentially is a automatic shift from 1 to 2. I don't touch it; it doesn't do anything. Like I literally just point and shoot. I mean, I feel like I'm absolutely doing nothing here. I'm not winning anything. But a lot of these import guys, they're doing all the shifting internally.
They're an H pattern car. You have a clutch. There's not really many automatic import cars that there's
there
a
really aren't that
transmission.
many. No,
there's not a transmission really made for him. I mean, he's got an import car with the power glide in it, but there's not really a class for that car.
Yeah.
I've got a Dodge Neon with an auto in it, but it doesn't really fit the classes. Pretty much everything's an H pattern. So you're driving on your steer tires and you're having to shift that thing.
And the passes go by fast because of how you're shifting. You're
bet they
into
do.
it. You are into that thing.
There's a lot of the cars in the Pro Class, they're dog boxes with a strain gauge. You're not pushing the clutch to shift. You're not letting off the gas to shift.
Yeah.
You're going mid 8-second passes at over 170 mile an hour.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of these cars, I mean, by the time you really don't get to look up and kind of like enjoy it until you're hitting 1,000-foot marker.
Until you're watching your in-car camera on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
or that
you
too.
get to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I think that's awesome and really cool too because, that generation, maybe this does go hand in hand with the younger generation. You do see a lot of those in-car cameras, those, oh God, what's the GoPros and everything like that. And those are cool angles, and I've seen some of them where they're like mounted, in very certain ways to like watch suspension and everything like that.
That's how you study.
We've done all that. We study. Brent can tell you. So with the PSCA stuff, he puts a camera in almost every car.
Yeah.
And he edits all of our videos. He can tell you how each one of us drive.
Oh yeah.
And I try to help others.
And he'll go around.
Yeah.
Each guy feels like they do really good. I feel like I'm a really good driver.
Yeah.
But after Brent edits a video, he comes and he sits me down and he says, "Jamie, you try this.
Yeah.
I watched your video 20 times. Try this. All right, you studied it more than I did being there. That camera can teach you a lot.
Yeah, it's
Somebody that's experienced with it watching that camera can teach you a lot. So it gives us another tool to help people.
Yeah.
If
it really
you see a
does.
driver that can improve on something, you have the technology to show them how to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
And show the world how to do it.
Yeah.
Not just everybody here. Everybody's
Well, that's-
out racing them, and they can look it up anywhere on YouTube.
And that's the thing; it's anywhere in the world. I mean,
really is.
I'm sure you probably got a lot of viewers who are definitely out of state or watching what you
out of
guys
country
do
even.
and out of the country. And no, that's super cool. It's our guys with PFI Speed. Of course, we have Tuner Mayhem coming up this weekend. This weekend in general, it's really kind of a 3-day weekend for you guys. You've got the qualifying on Friday with our PSCA program. Mel does a great job with that program, not only, and I think the PSCA is kind of cool too because you showcase everything, right? You've got the imports, but you also do have your domestic cars and some cars that got a whole lot of horsepower.
And it's so awesome. It's so cool.
I mean, wow.
Shakes your whole body.
We also did add a class into PSCA this year. We added an 1150 index class, just another introduction class.
No.
We were kind of seeing a big spread in our sport compact class.
Sure.
Added another class. A lot more guys can get their stuff here.
There you go.
Get some stuff to the track.
That's awesome. That's awesome. They'll be qualifying Friday and Saturday. Saturday is going to run in conjunction with our Sunoco King Street Series as well as the VDRA program. And then, of course, Sunday is Elimination Day, our PFI Speed Tuner Mayhem. Woo! car show, vendor midway, great weather. Why would you not be here? Hopefully you join us. Should be a good time. I ask this to every guest before we leave. Brent, we'll start with you.
Okay.
Favorite car? It could be any car that you've owned in the past. It could be a car you've never owned. It could be a famous car, favorite car, and why.
Man, that's tough because I'm a car lover, and I see greatness in all of them.
I know, and I never tell my guests this prior because I want to throw them under the bus.
It really does.
I love seeing the deer in the headlights look. Yeah.
I like
And I'm like,
him first because
I know. Yeah, I know.
Because I'm so passionate about cars, I really see value in so many. But I'll have to say that my green car, the Bully, is probably my favorite because it was my creation.
The Bully. Okay, describe it for us.
This is a.
You'll like this one.
Okay.
This is got your transmission in it.
Oh, it does.
A 2000 Civic SI.
Okay. I have an SI
with 32 10.5Ws on the front.
Holy cow.
A V6 with twin 80mm turbos with a Power Glide, a Corvette C5, and it's all wrapped front-wheel drive.
You can fit all that.
Okay, now hold on. All of this is in front of the firewall.
Yeah, I was going to say
everything is in front of the firewall.
Yep.
The car itself is basically just dragging.
The weight bias is 80/20. It's like it is awesome.
You have a V6 Corvette with a Power Glide dragging a Honda Civic.
Yeah. So that's probably my favorite because I invented it with good friends, and we've just had a great time.
That's cool.
I've changed it up 1,000 times, but I love the car.
That's cool.
It's got its own character for sure.
That's cool.
It is.
All right, you got like a minute to think about this.
I did.
So you get the easy part here.
So I'm just gonna go with a '90s Honda Civic. There's so much potential in them, and that's my goal. I see all these guys racing that are running, high 7s, low 8s in a car that I drove to high school. I've got one now. I'm shooting for that goal. I aspire to do that. That has become my favorite car.
Okay.
90s Honda Civic.
90s Honda Civic. Okay.
So cool.
It's such an interesting car too, though, because of the
potential,
I don't even know what the word is.
The market's
We're going to
so
start making up
open
words here. Customizability.
Customability.
So I started off my front wheel drive world with an SRT4. I'm a Dodge guy.
Okay.
I still have two of them.
You're winning all kinds of points with me now.
I still have two of them, and I love them to death. Yeah. But the Honda has now become my favorite thing because there's so much out there that you can get for them parts-wise.
Super simple.
Super simple. You don't have to spend $1 billion on it. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. The parts are there.
Very cool.
You just have fun.
Just look around, find what works for other people, and it's all available.
Very cool stuff. Before we leave, is there anybody you want to shout out? Staff members, guys at the shop?
Oh, let's shout out Goofy and Gordo. Thanks for holding it down.
Jeff,
Mullen,
our fabricator.
And Brittany for all she does for us. It's pretty awesome.
Nice. Our friends at PFI Speed, good partners here at the racetrack, and of course you're going to see them here this weekend. Tuner Mayhem on Sunday, but of course PSCA going should be a lot of fun. Guys, thanks for joining me.
Yep,
Thank you
for having us.
Check out the website, check out the YouTube page. I assume you guys are on Facebook and
Facebook,
Twitter,
Instagram, Twitter, all of it.
You got a TikTok?
Yeah, we do. We don't.
Are you TikToking?
Our buddy Gordo, who is the humor of our lives.
Is he dancing on TikTok? Gordo dancing?
He probably, at least he's face planting off of scooters. We know that much.
Oh, that's no good.
He's the outro in every one of our videos. With that same face plant.
All right.
It's great.
Jamie, Brett, thank you guys.
Yep,
Appreciate you for joining us. Hopefully you join us this weekend. And again, if you want tickets to our PFI Speed Tuner Mayhem, should be fun this Sunday. Check out Bandimere.com. That is Bandimere.com. All righty. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you joining me. Great chat with Brett and Jamie of PFI Speed. Of course, they are going to be here this weekend for the event. And, as we've been talking about, it's such a great time and a great opportunity for you if you've never raced down the Bandimere quarter mile, or if you want to come on by to the PFI Speed Tuner Mayhem and well, maybe just check out cars that are just like yours. You know, those Honda Civics, those imports. You can come on by, and maybe they'll get you set up with some tips, tricks, techniques, whatever may be the case, to make your vehicle really hum-ho down the racetrack. That again, all of us just enjoying the automobile, and such great vibes from them. And of course, be sure to go check them out on social media, because gosh, they do a really good job at sharing info and tips, tricks, techniques, things that they're doing that you can emulate, or if you just want to go on over there and see what they can do for your vehicle, go check that out. Our friends at PFI Speed. Now, of course, we of course all got the social media going on as well too. You can check us out on Facebook and Twitter, Instagram, and of course this podcast. Anywhere where you find podcasts, whether it be Spotify or Apple, Google, you can download the podcast, and hopefully you enjoy it as we go along, because it's been a interesting racing season so far. We've yet to hit that first big event, but of course we're excited for Mayhem on the Mountain, our Napa Auto Parts Mayhem on the Mountain, if you will, our continuation of the Night of Fire and Thunder. That'll be happening in August, but of course this summer, Dodge Power Brokers, Mile High NHRA Nationals, Brakes Plus, Jet Car Nationals, and really kind of our next big event, if you will, is going to be, well, our Trailer Source Thunder on the Mountain. That's going to be our divisional event, Father's Day weekend, and hopefully you get a chance to go check out the details. I got the fan guide in front of me now. This should have shipped to you already if you haven't already gotten your fan guide. You can, of course, find them here as well, too. June 17th, 18th at Trailer Source Thunder on the Mountain, presented by Napa Auto Parts. It's going to be a great, great time, and we'll see the alcohol cars, alcohol dragster, alcohol funny car. In fact, I think we're going to have a couple of those drivers on here in the upcoming weeks for our podcast, so it should be a lot of fun to talk to them about how they go about their business and how they get those cars to go 5 seconds in the quarter mile. It's quite wicked. So a lot of cool stuff over there for our Trailer Source Thunder on the Mountain. That's really the next big event here at Bandimere Speedway. Of course, as we take a look at the schedule, June's just filled with all kinds of goodies, from the Junior Dragster Western Conference Finals to our 5R Trucks Truck Fest. Of course, we have our Trailer Source Thunder on the Mountain. We'll have our I don't know if it's new anymore because we've been running it for the last couple of years, but our Street Chaos Rockstar Energy Drink Roll Racing Series kicks off also in June. Our Nitro Knockouts will be racing. And by the way, speaking of Nitro Knockouts, Amy Schrader's going to join us next week on the program. We'll talk Nitro Knockouts and her story and her getting into racing and all the fun things. It's been great to see the ladies join the racing program, and quite frankly, they just kind of kick our butts now. I mean, we're not very good at this anymore, apparently. I think they're more detail oriented, which is why us guys, we're just kind of not. We don't go over the details very much. We don't read the instructions. It's really what we don't do in this sport. So it'll be good to chat with Amy and our friends at the Nitro Knockouts. That'll be next week on the podcast. But of course, for this one, we are all done. Big thank you to our friends at PFI Speed this Sunday. PFI Speed Tuner Mayhem. Join us. It's going to be a fun time. That's it for the podcast. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next week. Later, y'all.